Coming up.
Hi, this is Colton Dixon, and you're watching Soul Check TV.
Hi, this is Hee Jun from American Idol, and you guys are watching Soul Check TV.
Hi, I'm Sarah Kittle, host and producer of Soul Check TV, a show where we go backstage and interview bands. But I don't work alone. I work with my family. Soul Check TV is about things that matter, like sharing God's love and truth to make a positive difference in your life. Soul Check TV is about music, it's about family, it's about purpose, and most importantly, it's about faith in Jesus Christ. Welcome to Soul Check TV. I'm your host, Sarah Kittle. Thank you so much for joining us. On this episode, Colton Dixon and Hee Jun from American Idol join us on the show. Hey, welcome to Soul Check TV. I am here with Colton Dixon. Soul Check TV caught up with Colton Dixon and Hee Jun from American Idol on the American Idol Live Tour. I believe that God worked it out for Colton Dixon and Hee Jun from American Idol to be on Soul Check TV. It seemed like such a long shot when I sent the request. The concert was Saturday. On Friday, the day before the concert, I decided to leave a comment on Hee Jun's Facebook and Colton's Facebook saying last minute interview request and asking for an interview.
They told us how they just happened to see the last minute request.
I know, I just happened to look.
Miraculously, I checked up my Facebook status, but I normally don't check.
And God opened the door and He made it happen.
Doing the interviews at the American Idol tour was fun.
It was so much fun to talk with Colton Dixon and Hee Jun.
Hee Jun and Colton were very friendly and nice.
Okay, thank you guys for coming.
Yeah,
I know it was last minute, so I'm glad you were able to come.
It was encouraging to meet Colton and Hee Jun and see how they are living out their faith in this huge platform that God's given them on American Idol. That their desire is to tell others about Jesus Christ and to share His love and their faith in Him.
You're good.
My sister Haley and my mom Lynette are a great help for Soul Check TV. And I'm so thankful to God for the great opportunities He gives us. Colton was so nice. He offered to help us clean up the equipment.
Sarah was telling Colton that we needed to clean up and everything, and he's like, well, can I help? And she's like, yeah, help us. And I'm like, what? You're going to make him help us clean up? I was like, no.
One of the highlights of the American Idol Live Tour was when Colton Dixon performed his original song, Never Gone. This song is going to be on Colton's new album. I think he did such a great job. I think God has gifted him and blessed him with talent.
Colton seemed very genuine and sincere and real in answering the questions. His love for Christ just shone through.
Hi, this is Colton Dixon, and you're watching Soul Check TV.
Hey, welcome to Soul Check TV. I am here with Colton Dixon from American Idol. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, yeah.
I am so excited to have you on the show. You're one of my favorites from the season.
Thank you.
And you're so bold about your faith, so I love that too. What was it like for you, the experience of being on American Idol and now the American Idol Live Tour?
It's unbelievable. Totally a surreal moment. I made it to top 40 last season. If you watch the show with my sister, and didn't quite make it, but it's funny how God works. You know, I went home that year, not devastated, but I was like, okay, well, I need to work on some stuff, and and opportunities came knocking. And I started on the music career journey officially, and my sister came back to audition this season again, and I didn't think it was my time again. But then God came knocking. He said, "Nah, let me show you my plan and show you how much better it's going to be than what you thought." And
so you weren't planning to audition this
not
season?
Not at all.
How did you get talked into doing that?
I went with my sister to the celebrity judge round with Jennifer, Steven, and Randy, and I was outside with Ryan Seacrest and my family, and she poked her head back out after she went, and she's like, "Hey, the judges want to see you real quick," and I'm like, "Oh."
And they knew that you had been there the year before?
Right, they remembered me from the previous year, and it was crazy. I walked in and they started asking me to sing, and the whole time I'm thinking, like, okay, is what's supposed to happen? And it was just crazy. It worked out that we both made it to Hollywood this season, and I made it all the way to top 7. Like it was such a blessing.
Now, the disappointment from the first season, I mean, did you know at that point where you would be now?
I didn't have a clue.
So that's a good encouragement to those of us out there who are dealing with disappointments.
Absolutely.
That, look, you had a big disappointment with the 1 year, you know, not making it to the top 12, and then look what God has done. You're now on the Idol tour, and you're working on a new album.
Absolutely.
So tell us about that. What is your new album that you're working on?
New album. I started writing as soon as I was off the show. I did 11 songs in 11 days, and they're just, it's just just kind of
you can't force that.
You can't. You really can't.
That's like you need inspiration to do that.
Man, I've tried forcing that, and it just doesn't work. So it was awesome that it worked out that way. But it's just kind of a recollection of my thoughts while being on the show, even previous years, Idol, just different things God's put me through, or you know, there are many co-writes on the record, so maybe something.
Can you name a few? Who are you co-writing
Absolutely.
with?
I wrote with Jason Wade of Lifehouse. Huge inspiration to me. He wrote Everything, which is my favorite song.
The song that you sang on American Idol.
So good.
Which was a great performance. You can still watch it online.
Yes, go watch it online. Shameless plug. Jason Wade, I wrote with David Hodges, old keyboard player for Evanescence. I wrote with Brandon Heath, who's very, very well known. I saw the post on your Facebook wall about writing about the love of God. Oh my goodness. The song we wrote, I don't know what all I can and can't say. I'm just going to say it anyway.
Yeah, that's what we like. Just say it anyway.
It's called Tear Me Apart. And it's about, you know, if we fully understood God's love and what that means to us or whatever, it would completely tear us apart. That's what makes God God. We will never fully understand him, but that's the beauty of it. But at the same time, since we know that it would tear us apart, I want him to tear me apart. I just want to be completely soaked in his love.
A good kind of tearing apart.
Man, it's such a beautiful song. Like, I really, really hope it makes the record. But we had a great day that day. It was just total Jesus worship moment. So it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you are so bold about your faith. Why did you want to share your faith so much on the platform that God gave you with American Idol?
You know, it all goes back to a verse for me, John 13:16, which is, "A servant isn't greater than his master, nor is a messenger greater than the one who sent him." I'm just a messenger. That's all any of us are called to be.
Right.
So I made it onto this little show called American Idol, and I kept coming back to that verse, and I'm like, all right, I see what you want me to do, so I'm just going to go do it and let you do your thing. I want to, you know, present the gospel, and I'll let you take control from there. And he totally did.
And you were trusting God with your destiny, because some people might be afraid, oh, if I say I'm a Christian, then people won't vote for me.
Right.
So it took courage and faith on your part to do that.
Yes and no. I mean, it's a part of who I am. So with anybody, it could be, you know, whatever it may be. DeAndre with his reggae music and his hair, or you know, whatever. Philip Phillips always wearing gray.
And it didn't hurt him.
And it didn't hurt him. No, it didn't. But it's just, my faith is a part of who I am, so I wasn't gonna back down from it.
Well, I love the boldness. I love that you had guts, because I think that really just shows where your heart lies, and that loving God more than fearing man, loving God more than wanting fame and attention. So I think that is great.
Thank you.
So there was a moment on the show, your last song that you sang while you were still in the competition was Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. Now, after that performance, you said something to the audience or the judges, something like you apologized and you weren't being true to yourself. What do you have to say about that moment?
You know, we all know I could have picked a better song choice than Bad Romance by Lady Gaga. But that doesn't mean that the song didn't ring true. You know, we all want something that's bad for us. There just wasn't something hopeful in that song that I wish I could have given that week. But that week, I started to get in the swing of things and start going through the motions. And you know, you have so many people pouring into you, well, how about trying this song, or do this song, or step out of your comfort zone a little bit here. And those things started to weigh down on me that week, and I could feel it. But yeah, you know, I saw the way America was reacting, and that just kind of made everything click in my mind. I was like, what happened this week? What did I do, or what didn't I do? So it was like a wake-up call, or? Absolutely. And of course, the biggest wake-up call of all was when Ryan called my name. Then I was going home, and I'm like,
and we were disappointed. We were disappointed.
You know, but everything happens for a reason. You know, so no harm, no foul. But I was sitting there, and I'm like, man, first of all, I owe God an apology, because I totally wasn't I wasn't right in the head this week. But I owe my fans an apology as well, because a lot of them have been looking up to me as a Christian role model, and I don't think I portrayed that as well this week. So I was sure to do that, and sometimes that's the best thing you can do whenever you fall, is just admit that you've fallen, and just let go and let God pick you back up. So, and then He did that. So it's been a great ride. Really
and I think that says something about your heart, that you felt the need to apologize because you realized how people looked up to you, and I just think that shows a lot about your heart and your character, that you felt the need to apologize.
Thank you.
So what was the greatest highlight for you being on American Idol? Coming up.
Hands down.
Things I wish I would have known in advance to ask Hee Jun. How do I pronounce your name? Oh no, I just realized I've been mispronouncing your name.
It's fine.
I feel bad.
It's okay.
See, we don't have time to go back and fix that.
It's okay.
I can try to dub in, but I probably won't do that.
It's fine. It's fine.
During the interview, Sarah asked Hee Jun about his talk show called Hee Talk.
I know what, you have a show called Hee Talk. I want you to interview me for your show, Hee Talk.
And his show is to make people feel awkward, and he's very good at that.
I have to make you awkward. That's the whole point of the show.
Sarah on the Hee Talk show was very entertaining. I enjoyed him making her feel awkward. That was fun.
Can we change the subject?
Yeah, I told you. It's going to get awkward.
Hee Jun, we just love his sense of humor. He's just so much fun. We just loved that about him on American Idol, and meeting him in person. Very easy to talk to, and it was a great experience to meet him and talk with him.
Hi, this is Hee Jun from American Idol, and you guys are watching Soul Check TV.
Hey, welcome to Soul Check TV. I am with Hee Jun.
Hi.
From American Idol. Thank you so much for being on the show.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
I am so excited that you're here.
I am too. I recently, not recently, actually yesterday, that I miraculously I checked up my Facebook status, but I normally don't check because, not to be arrogant, but we get like thousands of notifications every day.
Right.
So we just kind of just like laying in bed, and then I saw the phone, and then I feel like I just have to send you guys an email to let them know that I'm gonna be here. And my manager actually told me that this is not approval, but who cares?
So thank you. Hee Jun has cut through the red tape. He said, I am doing this interview. Is that what you said?
Not literally, but
Okay.
I said, I want to do it, and they said, okay, if you want to do it, you can do it.
Okay, good. So we do have their approval then.
Yes,
I am
yes.
so excited. And just yesterday, I put a comment on Hee Jun's Facebook wall and said, hey, can we do an interview? And I thought, this is a long shot, but I think this is a God thing. I mean, that you looked at your Facebook, and here we are right now doing this interview.
Yes, I do believe there is a specific reason why I'm grabbing this mic and speaking to the camera, because I do believe God wants to speak through me to a specific person who will watch the show, right?
Yes,
so
yes,
I'm pretty sure.
That's what you have to believe when you do a TV show, that people are out there listening, and that God's going to use it to touch them.
Of course, yeah.
I love your sense of humor. So last night, I talked to Hee Jun on the phone at like midnight, and I think I woke you up, and I wasn't even sure it was the real Hee Jun. I thought, you know what? Somebody could have seen this on Hee Jun's Facebook wall. They could have made up a fake Hee Jun email. And so when I called him, I'm like, well, is this really going to be Hee Jun? And I could totally tell from talking to you, it was you.
It was me. It was, I have a very unique voice, and you can tell it was me.
Now, did I wake you up?
Literally, you did, but it's okay.
I'm glad you answered. I'm glad, God had you wake up and answer the phone.
Because I don't really normally pick up the phone at all.
So God is working. That is
yes,
awesome.
God worked through AT&T, for sure.
I love your sense of humor. One of the things that caught my attention with you on American Idol this season was the conflict with you and the cowboy.
Yes.
What was going on there?
Well, for me, I'm not a professional singer. I've never been singing.
But you have such a beautiful voice.
Oh, thank you. I didn't sing long time like Colton or anyone else here who's been doing this for a while. I'm just a guy. I always tell myself I'm just a guy who's going after God's own heart, trying to help other kids back at home, my organization. And when you know that you don't have that talent as other people.
Oh, but you do have talent.
Oh, but when you heard them sing, you're like, oh, I have no competition on them. And then I just feel like at least I have to make something out of this competition. So I kind of use that stage as my cowboy, as my character, and then use that circumstance as my stage and kind of put like a little act on it, I guess.
Well, I loved your humor, and I loved at the end that you apologized to his parents, the Cowboys' parents, for things that you said about him, and I thought that was great that you apologized.
Thank you. Well, it was a really sincere apologize, but people actually thought it was funny, but I really felt bad for the parents.
I thought it was real. I sensed your sincerity.
Yes, it was a real apology, yes.
So tell us about your faith. I saw on your Facebook you use a quote or a statement, or you say, all for God, all by God. What does that mean?
I actually give that necklaces I designed, it's just one of the kind, to my girlfriend. It's all for God, all by God means it's just literally what it is. I'm just a person who's going after God's own heart, and everything has to go through him, and everything that we do as a reward, he deserved everything for us. So that's what it is. All for God, all by God is literally self-explanatory right there.
Now, why is it important to go after God's own heart? Why is your faith important to you? Because some people, they don't even believe that God is real. They don't have that faith, and so what can you say to them?
I was born as a Christian, and I was just like a regular Christian who will go to church and do other worldly things until when I hit myself a depression. And then I realized during the time that when you're going after something that's not going to satisfy you, which is like fame, money, worldly things, pleasure, drugs and everything, you will never be satisfied anyway. So I kind of turned away from...
So you went after those things?
I was going after so hard. That's why when I failed, I kind of got myself a depression. And so did everyone else in this world right now, who will be so sad because they don't have money, who will be so sad because they're not successful, who will be so sad because their goal is not going to satisfy their needs. But once I turned my head to the cross, thinking, I am not going after any of that. I'm just going to go after God's own heart. Let's see how it is. It was like a benefit of that. And then once I just put myself in that position, training myself, reading Bible every day, trying to just, it was like a literally working out. Like sometimes you don't want to do it, but you just push it.
Right.
And then you just pray, even though you don't want to do it sometimes, but you just do it. At the end of the day, you feel like the happiness that you ever felt in your life.
Right.
So that's the whole benefit that I got from.
So that's why it's important to go after God's own heart, because God loves you and he wants a relationship with you, and we're meant to have a relationship with him through Jesus Christ, and he's the only one that can satisfy that hole in our hearts. Not fame, not sex, not drugs, but God is the one who completes us, and he loves us, and he wants us to experience his love.
That's what I learned through phrase of time. Yes.
So what is it like for you being on the American Idol tour? I'm so glad you're on the tour.
Oh yeah. It's really, really fun. I thank God for every day. Whenever in the morning I woke up, I just got myself green card last year.
Yay.
Thinking like you still remember the time when my family carried that 2 luggage from JFK airport, thinking that we're gonna make American Dream. It was 10 years ago, and now I'm just in front of thousands of people singing. So it's pretty much blessing, I believe.
So your family immigrated to America to pursue the American dream, and now you're on American Idol, on the American Idol live tour.
Yes, it would have never happened if I was going towards my dreams and fame, but when I was going for something else.
When you're going for God, then it happened.
Then it actually
That's
happened.
amazing. People would think that was ironic, that when you started following God, then God gave you your dream.
It was like a bonus check.
You're right. God is the ultimate dream. That's just a small bonus in comparison to him.
Yes, that was.
So what do you guys do for fun backstage and hanging out? And
sometimes we just goof around, just hang around, but normally we just take a nap.
Okay.
And search like the webs and YouTube stuff. And I do a lot of QTs. I do quiet times every morning, and try to push it in as whenever I have downtime.
So this is just so great. It seems kind of surreal, and I know it's an opportunity from God that I'm here with you, interviewing you for the show, and I think people will love seeing you on here. Are you working on any music? Do you have plans for music after the tour? Like
a week ago, it just hit me thinking, why am I trying to do a lot of stuff, And I'm just gonna go back to who I was, keep myself grounded, and let it happen, and just leave it to God. Make sure he could lead me to the right way. So once you're in this kind of position, you're thinking, how can I satisfy other people, because they have lots of expectation on you.
A lot of pressure.
A lot of pressure, and then you just want to do better, and you just want to show more of yourself. But I realized this is a great time for me to back off a little bit and go back to who I was, just trying to be humble all the time and keep yourself grounded to Christ and just let it happen.
Now, is there any encouragement you could give to anybody out there watching who doesn't have a relationship with God? Because some people are like, well, yeah, that may be right for you,
right,
but don't try to tell me how I should live my life. I mean, what would you say to that?
I want to ask what kind of life and purpose they're living in right now. Like, let's just say you get sad when your girlfriend doesn't text you enough. You get sad when your boyfriend don't text you enough. You get sad because you don't have money to pay the rent. You get sad when you're sick. But what if there's a way that you can never be sad? You know, what if there's a way that you can never be depressed? What if there's a way that you could never ever be insecure?
Right.
All you have to do is just sit your butt down, try to read some Bible, give yourself 3 months. You know, when you work out 3 months, for 3 months, like do diet, you're in a great shape, right? Just like the same thing. Take it as 3 months, try to put yourself grounded, just benefit out, right? And then see what happens after 3 months.
Yeah, it's definitely, a relationship with God is definitely worth looking into and seeking, and I mean, I'm all for it. I think everybody should have one.
I think 3 months is enough. 3 months is definitely enough for you to experience God if you're passionate about it, and then if you're really willing to do it.
Yeah.
I think because it took me about less than 1 month.
Wow.
So, yeah.
And that's what you did? You gave it a shot, and now you're in love with
Yes.
God.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much for being here. This
Thank
is
you.
so great. Coming up,
Hi, this is She Talk Show. Today we have
Sarah Kittle. So what was the greatest highlight for you being on American Idol?
Hands down, it was going through it with my sister. Man, I love her to death. I miss my family so much. It's not even funny. Realizing that we're going to be on the road till September is bittersweet. I love it, but I wish I could bring my family along with me. But my sister made it to top 48 this season.
And that's really good.
It was amazing.
Not many people do that, so that's really good.
Yes, unreal. But being on such a huge platform as this and having someone you've grown up with there with you doing the exact same thing in the exact same mindset, it just made things that much easier. So whenever she left, I knew that not a crutch, but just something extra to lean on whenever I was having a rough day or whatever. It wasn't there anymore. You know, and vice versa too. So it was just, that was really, really rough, but hands down, that was my favorite.
So what is one of the highlights of being on the tour?
Oh my goodness, meeting the fans. Finally getting to put faces with, you know, all these votes that have been coming in. It's just, it's so cool.
And there were a lot of votes,
Oh my goodness, so many votes. And that still blows my mind. Like, I've watched American Idol since season 1. So to think that I was actually in the top 10, it still doesn't seem real yet.
Yeah.
Every night we walk out.
It doesn't seem real interviewing you quite either.
Sorry. Every night we walk out on stage, it's a sea of faces. And it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
And after the show, we walk out and I might see a Colton poster or something. It's so cool.
It's nice to have that support.
It is. It's amazing. But I love meeting the fans and hearing the story and getting to hang out with everybody. It's just, it's the highlight of our day. It really is.
So do you have a lot of free time on the tour also? I mean, like, how do you hang out with people, or are you packed full?
You know, it varies. Like earlier today, we had a commercial we had to do. So today was a busy day, but we had a day off yesterday here in Colorado. The days off are very much appreciated, especially for the voice.
Yes.
But it's off and on. You know, we love spending time with one another as an Idol family, and when September comes, it's going to be awful. There are going to be so many tears shed, but yeah, we thoroughly enjoy hanging out with each other and goofing off. And I know several of us went and saw Spider-Man last night.
Did you dress as Spider-Man?
I might have.
Okay, because I saw something on your Facebook about you were considering that.
I definitely did.
You did dress as Spider-Man.
I did. There's this awesome hoodie that I purchased
yesterday. People wouldn't
yesterday.
recognize you.
No,
Okay.
I'm that nerdy. But yeah, so we like to have a good time and goof off and be kids, because we've lost a lot of that while being on the show. We've been in a bubble for so long, so we just, you know, we're in a gymnasium. There will definitely be some basketball being played later today. So it's just, you know, whatever we can get our hands on.
So what's a great encouragement that you can give to your Christian fans out there who respect your faith and who are on their own journey of faith? What's some encouragement that you can give to them?
Man, just kind of reiterating what I've already said. You know, John 13:16. We're just messengers. You know, that's all God has ever called us to be. He wants us to preach the gospel. Just take hold of that. And, you know, whatever journey God leads you in, that is God's plan. We don't know it. We will not understand it, but we just have to let go and let God do his thing. And that's what I did this year. You know, I wasn't planning on auditioning, but God tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, I've got a better plan for you. So just let go and let God do his thing." Absolutely.
Be open to what God wants. And I saw on your Facebook you said something about Christians are held to a higher standard, and the world is watching. So
absolutely.
So he has inspiring posts on his Facebook page. So
yeah.
So when does your new album come out? When is it set to release?
There's not a set date yet.
Okay, so just keep following Colton.
Yes.
And on Facebook, and you'll find out, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Well, thanks so much. This has been great. Thank you so much for being on the show.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I know what. You have a show called He Talk. I want you to interview me for your show, He Talk.
I have to make you awkward. That's the whole point of the show.
It's okay. You can try to make me awkward, and I don't have to answer. So,
I'll just give you 2 questions.
Okay. Well, do you have like an intro? Like, hey, this is Hee Jun with He Talk.
Hi, this is He Talk Show. Today we have
Sarah Kittle.
Sarah Kittle. Is your last name Kittle?
It is Kittle.
With C or K?
With a K.
So it's Kiddle.
Kittle.
It's Kittle.
Kittle.
So in England, it's Kittle.
Sometimes I do say it like Kittle.
Okay, so
I see why there's the confusion.
So it's Sarah Kittle.
Yes.
So it's SK.
Yes, SK.
Okay. Are you single or are you married?
I'm not married.
But you have a boyfriend?
I don't have a boyfriend.
What did it take so long to answer that question? See? Now we're awkward.
And this is awkward now. This is awkward. You got to pray about things, you know. And can we change the subject?
Yeah, I told you it's gonna get awkward. It's only gonna take 2 questions for you to make awkward.
Okay. Well, that was the second one.
Yeah.
You want to go for a third?
No, it's okay.
Okay.
Let's just leave it as a peaceful interview.
So, is there a closing that you do to the He Talk show? Is we sing or anything?
No. We just go. That was a He Talk show, and then next week we'll have someone else who could be a little more exciting.
I can be more exciting.
We'll have someone who can actually talk about their real life. Stuff like that. Are you okay?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You're
yes.
okay.
Well, thank you so much. This is great, and thanks for making me feel awkward. And that may or may not make the show. I may edit some parts out.
You have to edit a lot of stuff in this interview.
I might have to edit myself. So, but thank you so much. This was great having you on the show.
Bye.
Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. For more information on Soul Check TV or to watch episodes online, please visit www.soulchecktv.com. That's soulchecktv.com. God bless you. Have a great week. Remember that God loves you. And thank you for watching Soul Check TV.